Forgot where I was.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Thank you.
I'm going to count you
I need some
down.
ginkgo, brother.
I'm going to count you down again.
Okay.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings. This is the good brother Dr. K. Alanubia reporting to you live, representing Too Much TV Incorporated.
Hold up. We're not live.
We're not.
No, we're on location.
I forgot. We so used to doing it live.
He need his
on
mic.
location.
Yeah, he does.
Do I need a mic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You'll never get a mic, little Michael. Big Michael. Okay. You want to try again?
Yeah, you're on location. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
At WEUP.
Count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2, rolling.
Greetings. This is the good brother Dr. K. Alanubia on location here at WEUP in Huntsville, Tennessee. And I have the...
Huntsville, Alabama.
Damn.
Tennessee.
He said Tennessee Valley.
Hey, you need to come with teleprompter.
Yeah. I got it. Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes. Just
Okay.
speak up Huntsville, Alabama.
No.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2.
The good brother Doctor coming to you on location in Huntsville, Alabama, right here in WEUP, a 60-year-old tradition, and I have the good honor to be with Lamont, Chief Rocka Martin. Mr. Martin, how you doing today, Chief Martin?
I'm good, and yourself, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. You know, it's an honor to have a homecoming today, to meet you and to understand a little bit about the relationship that you have with Miss Tamisha Thomas. Before we get into that, can you speak a little bit about Miss Tamisha Thomas and your relationship and how you got here? And
Absolutely. Tamisha was my boss. I came here as a student, Alabama A&M University. I remember when I first walked into the radio station, I was told through friends on campus, go to WEUP, try to get internship. So I was enrolled in a practicum course, need the internship. And they said, go talk to Tamisha. She works in promotion. So I came, first guy in my face, a guy named Tony Jordan, rest in peace. And he was
Fireball.
News director.
Okay.
Hey, how are you? I said, I'm fine. And yourself? What you here for? I said, I'm here to see Tamisha.
Okay.
He said, okay. You thought about being in the news? I said, nah. I said, I don't know. I'm open to anything, but I just can't talk to Tamisha. I believe she's in promotion. So long story short, Tamisha came, we met, had me fill out the application, went through the process, gave her my paperwork she needed to sign. So yeah, you can start. Came back, started, and as time went on, Tamisha worked us like employees, we were getting the grade for, but she works like employees. So she had another employee, my partner, we still partners to this day. His name was John Chambers. Okay. And we met here at WEUP, but we both had telecom class, which is telecommunication class at Alabama A&M. And even though we didn't have class with each other, we had mutual friends. Right. So me and him, man, we clicked up instantly, so he was working also at the TV station at the time. Okay. And so Tamisha went to Mr. Bass and she said, Miss Bass, I need some more help in the department. And he probably brushed her like, okay, whatever. She said, yeah, I want to hire Lamont. Okay. And then he said, okay. So I don't know what happened with the conversation was like. Right. But John was working part-time hours and he had 15 hours a week. Yes, sir. And he split those with me so I can come on. Okay. So Mr. Bass tell the story to this day. Yeah, that guy just showed up on my payroll. I never hired him. So he was like, so who told you work here? I said, Tamisha. He said, I've been talking to her, so I'm sure they had the conversation, but I'm still here.
Well, that's all right, man. I appreciate it. Just had a chance to talk to Mr. Steve Murray earlier, and he was kind of giving me some history in terms of WEUP, where we came from, where we are, and more importantly, where we're going. And what I said to him after hearing Tamisha, Ms. Thomas's testimony, I'm a business doctor. Okay. And my goal is to bring ammunition and give you the supplies that you need in order to build capacity. And so when I come here and look at the impact that radio and communications has and how you've seen it change over the years, I think we have a lot of important assets in our community, and we need to take men like myself, men like yourself, and we need to do what the old folks used to say, we need to let the iron sharpen the iron, because I don't do what you do, you don't do what I do, but working together, then we can do something excellent. So I want to ask you some blank check questions. Okay. And what I mean by blank check questions, I'm going to ask you blank check questions in 4 areas. The first blank check question is in the area of marketing. The second blank check question is in the area of operations in terms of building your capacity, your engine, your transmission, so you can do greater things. The third blank check is the blank check. What would X number of dollars do, in your opinion, after having a chance to be in your position, travel around the world, around the country, work with Alabama A&M. The talk game is good, but the do game is boss. So we're going to come to you soon. Going to ask y'all to write some checks. Okay. And the other thing is, I'm going to ask you about people capacity, human resource capacity, in terms of where you see this going. So, blank check question number one, Chief Rocka Martin. If we could write you a blank check today to give you a budget, and I appreciate Mr. Batts' history. A lot of us who are in business started our businesses with no budget, and we created budgets, and we were put in a position where we had to build the ship and float the ship at the same time. But times are changing, and you are sitting here in one of the most powerful economic development zones in the state of Alabama and the Tennessee Valley. Okay, and a lot of times, Chief Martin, we don't take advantage of economic law a lot of times because we don't know about it. So marketing blank check number one. If I was going to write you a blank check to do whatever you needed to do to strengthen this radio station, tell me, what would you use the blank check dollars for?
In terms of marketing, I definitely would work on our external marketing.
Okay.
I know we are a homegrown radio station. Tamisha started that stuff, being out in the community. We got that down pat.
Yes, sir.
But I know if someone like yourself is coming to the market, new to the market, you may not have heard of WEUP.
Yes, sir.
You may not be familiar with WEUP. With Huntsville being a transplant town, as they call it, because a lot of people come in, students for work, and some of them tend to leave when they finish school or when they get the proper training for work. But now it's getting to the point where people are starting to settle here.
Yes, sir.
And they're attracting businesses from all over the country.
Okay.
With those businesses come people from all over the country. If you ride around here, you'd be like, I can tell you most of the things that you'll probably see firsthand is probably maybe 10 to 15 years old. Everything's new.
Yes, sir.
When I got here in 96, this city has tripled, quadrupled in population, businesses, and I'm sure I don't have the exact numbers, but in terms of dollars, I'm sure the retail spending power is crazy.
Oh, okay.
So my first thing would probably do more external marketing to let people know who we are, where we are, and how to get to us.
Could you give us some examples of the type of external marketing?
I would probably, I would start with stuff like billboards, maybe digital billboards.
Okay.
I would try to wrap maybe the bus system or something. I would look at even the Uber and Lyft drivers, that type of thing. Like maybe we can form some type of partnership, where like we wrap our vehicles with our station logos and that type of thing, so people can know who WEUP is. Definitely do more stuff in the community as far as like putting on events.
Okay.
We were in the hip hop station, right? And that's the hip hop side of the station, and the music game has changed so much that the way we used to get artists,
yes, sir,
and the way we used to have concerts and stuff, we used to have one of the biggest events I know in North Alabama.
Okay.
But back then, artists were selling records and all this type of stuff. People buying albums. So now it's all about streams and downloads. So if you have a single, you might charge us $6,000, but we can't afford to pay every artist $6,000 to come if we got a big show.
Gotcha.
So definitely, I would do more things event-wise. Okay. So we can bring these type of artists back to the city, or to the city if this is the first time, to put in front of our listening audience.
Oh, okay.
A lot of that type of stuff. I do more event marketing, external marketing, just being seen, being heard. I know we don't do a lot of. You discover WEUP if you search for a hip hop station and you dig deep enough, you will find us. We have website, we have social media and all that. But if you new to the city, I want to be in your face like WEUP.
Absolutely. Well, you did a great job on that, Chief. Let me ask you this. operationally, a lot of times when we think about operations, when we think about a car, we think about the engine, we think about the transmission, we think about the steering wheel, the different components in terms of your property, in terms of your location, your plant in terms of your operation, and your equipment in terms of your software and your hardware. Now, on a prejudicial note, I was surprised that you weren't using Pro Tools.
Okay.
And I found out that y'all were using Adobe. But I don't know anything about Adobe, so the only thing I can talk about was Pro Tools. So from an operational perspective, a hardware, software, a satellite, because one of the things I talked to Mr. Murray about was looking at the Steve Harvey Show or looking at the Breakfast Club, and one of the things he said to me was, I asked him, you do a great job of generating content, but can we generate a satellite signal?
Gotcha.
And so I want you to talk to me operationally, and operation is those type of persons. It's one thing you could tell me about the heartstrings and the history. The operations is the person says, listen, I'm gonna invest in this piece of equipment. I'm gonna invest in this software. I'm gonna invest in this roof. So can you talk to me operationally? If we could give you a blank check, what would we write the check for?
This your last question. Yes.
Okay.
From an operation standpoint, definitely those you spoke of, the hardware, software. One thing about this system here, I don't know if you're familiar with, I can't remember the name of the system.
Adobe?
This is not Adobe. That's Adobe right there.
Okay.
This system, it's an automation system. It is called Wide Orbit. They replaced kind of Scott Studio.
Okay.
This is a $30,000 system.
Okay.
I think some of the tools we have, we just may not be. We need to upgrade the boards. Like this board is definitely old, needs to go.
Okay.
Because we're probably using about maybe 10% of what this program can do. This program can do the things you're talking about.
Okay.
You don't even have to be here to run this program.
Wow.
You can come from anywhere in the country as long as you connect to the internet, log into this, and do. So some of the stuff you're talking about doing, streaming and stuff, this program does that.
Wow.
We had some guys come install it. They were some good guys too, by the way, who worked for the company. They had radio background, so they understood exactly what we need, and the first thing they told our owner was, hey, you need to get rid of these boards because these boards kind of outdated. So this software it can handle pretty much all of the new hardware that we don't have yet. Okay. So I would start here.
So now, two quick questions. I know we got to go, and I appreciate your time.
Okay.
What people do you need on your team to do those things you just talked about? 2 or 3 people, interns, and then tell America how much we need to write a check for.
People, definitely salespeople, because radio, you have to have sales. And I think we have some good people on staff. Maybe have a couple more assistants, we need an administrative assistant. We don't have anymore. We used to have somebody in the front answering the phone.
So do you need 5 people, 10 people, 20
I'd say
people?
maybe about 10 people.
10
plus interns. I have interns every semester with the university, so we have a relationship with them. So
if your staff, how many would you want staffed?
How much staff?
Staffed? I would at least want myself and maybe about 3 others.
Okay. So that's a minimum of $50,000 a person times 5 people is $250,000. Not saying everybody gonna make the same.
Not saying it, but yeah.
So that's $250,000 for staff. Another $50,000 for interns. We're at $300,000. So
and your equipment, your trucks.
And your equipment and your trucks. Yeah. I need you to throw on a number on top of that. So right now we at $300,000.
You probably bump that to at least $350. That'll give me a decent view.
You're talking to a genie.
Okay.
You're talking to Will Smith.
Okay. Okay. Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil. Okay.
We want that big winner, baby.
We want. That's right.
Oh, y'all want that big? Okay.
You talking to me about bulletin boards? He talking to me about bulletin boards and digital bulletin boards and so on and so forth. And I'm asking Chief Rocka the money question.
Okay, so we gotta be in this about in 5 minutes.
Okay. What's the money question?
Man,
what's the answer?
At least $500,000, $500,000.
$500,000.
$1 million. There it is.
Does that include the new TMT chapters we're putting on that's going to actually do video production?
Yes.
Okay, it does. Okay. All right.
$1 million?
$1 million to work.
Okay.
My man.
You heard it. All right.